Everyone has a different way to ring in the new year, and some people are getting a little creative with it this time. Earlier tonight, people gathered at Main Street Bridge in Green Bay to check out the lucky llama. He's going to cross the bridge. Legend has it, though, anyone who sees it will have a good lucky year, starting 2018, of course. And we're just a couple of hours away from 2018. Tonight, people all over Northeast Wisconsin are celebrating their new year and, of course, looking to make some changes along the way. NBC 26's Shane Gustafson shows us some New Year's resolutions.
The start of the new year is almost like a blank slate. Plenty of time to kick that bad habit, eat better, or maybe even pick up on that resolution you forgot about last year. And here in Northeast Wisconsin, plenty of folks are doing just that. The stroke of midnight will sound something like this in Green Bay.
3, 2, 1.
But once the ball drops and the midnight kiss is behind you, the real work of the new year begins.
A New Year's resolution? Just to do good things, I guess.
She was born 2 years ago, so she's 18 months, so new year, new things.
Families came out to celebrate 2018 a little early Sunday.
I think we're going to just try to spend more time as a family and do more family things and kind of really enjoy kind of the age here because it's a pretty special age.
Josh Day and his family hope 2018 brings them closer together. And others are focused on the sweeter side of life.
Making gingerbread cookies. Top priority for 2018.
That answer came from her daughter, but all cookies aside, most hope 2018 is filled with good luck and a little brighter than 2017.
We're looking forward to finding out where we're going to go for residency, so lots of things to look forward to in 2018.
And of course, no matter how you welcome in the new year, we hope you do it safely. Until next year, keeping you connected, I'm Shane Gustafson, NBC 26.
And those are all very good resolutions to have. And from all of us here at NBC 26, we want to wish you a very happy new year. Thank you for spending your Sunday night with us, but we're not done just yet. Chris Barrier, we're back with sports. Stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to Sunday Sports Rewind. I'm your host, Chris Barrier. The Packers finished their season with a losing record for the first time since 2008. That's not very good. And before we look ahead to next year, let's roll the highlights one more time on 2017. Why not, right? Packers and Lions. Jim Caldwell reportedly out as Detroit's head coach after today. Mike McCarthy's defensive coordinator, Dom Capers, with the same fate. Not a great start for Brett Hundley, folks. He throws a pick on his opening drive, then fumbles 2 drives later. Meanwhile, Matthew Stafford having a no problem finding the baby blue painted turf. A 54-yard strike over the middle to Kenny Golladay. 10-3 Lions on top. It was 27-3 Lions entering the fourth quarter. Finally, Hundley gets something to click. Nice look to Randall Cobb for 17 yards and a touchdown, his third tutty of the year. He also converted on the 2-point conversion. Then, speaking of 2-point attempts, look at Mr. Sneaky Matthew Stafford. Blind snap to Amir Abdullah, hands it to Golden Tate and throws it back to Stafford. Then Stafford launched that puppy to the end zone. That thing went pretty high, too. Last game of the year, you might as well break out the playbook, right? Lions win at 35-11. Brett Hundley, not so good. A fumble and 2 interceptions. That gives him 10 picks on the season, 2 more than he threw for touchdowns. Only 8 touchdowns, and of course, none of those were at home. For more on this game and what the future holds, here's Charlie Sakaitis and Kelly Price.
A little season-ending cheese and Packers here. Charlie Sakaitis, Kelly Price. We have a knife spread. Unfortunately, unlike Chris Barrier, I don't have any cheese-related jokes to open up with. So, Kelly, let's get right into the Packer part.
No cheesy puns today, but nothing mattered today for either the Lions or the Packers. Neither team is going to make the playoffs, but the Lions ran away with this one. Matthew Stafford and company just totally torched the Packers defense. Matthew Stafford went 20 for 29 with 323 yards, 3 touchdowns. Does this say more about the Lions offense or the Packers lackluster defense?
I think it's a little column A, a little column B. The Lions had their starting quarterback. That makes a big difference. The Packers did not. So while I think it could have been a better performance by the defense than we saw, I don't think you can put everything just on them. I think it was a total team effort to not get it done today.
And speaking of team effort or lack thereof, Dom Capers reportedly out as the defensive coordinator for the Packers. What options do you see for replacing him going forward for the Packers?
Well, there's a number of different options that have been talked about a lot. Vic Fangio of the Bears, likely the guy that's being at the top of the list. He's a guy that has actually worked for Capers at 2 different spots, but it was his stint with the 49ers where he had top 5 defenses that really has sort of gotten that ball rolling, in my opinion. Then there's going to be some head coaches now looking for jobs. Maybe one of those guys steps in. You got a Chuck Pagano. Maybe he could come be a defensive coordinator. Vance Joseph of the Broncos. Marvin Lewis, another guy that could potentially be looking for a job if he wants to keep it going.
One more thing I wanted to discuss before we're through, a weird moment on the Fox broadcast as the analysts.
What was this?
Yeah, analysts were talking about Mike McCarthy. Take a look at this.
That's what happens to you. There you go, McCarthy right there. There's a little bit of extra Christmas dinner right there, but that's how we operate in cold weather climates.
Not okay. That's just fat shaming. You can't do that. This is 2017. Haven't we learned anything about how to treat people?
Yeah.
Not all right to do that.
No, that was not a good look for that broadcast. I do not understand where that was going, why they needed to do that.
Unnecessary.
That was totally inappropriate. So we can end on a positive note here.
This is pretty cool,
Yeah,
actually.
the jack of kind of all offensive line trades, Justin McCray. This time last year, you can see this tweet now, he was a bellman for a hotel in Florida. Now he's living out his NFL dream as starting for the Packers. That's a pretty cool moment for him. You've got to keep things in perspective now as we kind of move into 2018.
Absolutely. I mean, this wasn't the year for the Packers. It's not the one that they wanted to have. And for maybe you at home, maybe this wasn't the year you wanted to have. But you know what? A lot can change in a single year. Your life situation can get a lot better. So be positive going into 2018. I'm going to be. I hope you are, Kelly, and we hope you guys are at home as well. Keeping you connected. I'm Charlie Sakaitis with Kelly Price. This is Cheese and Packers.
Charlie, it's not cheesy unless you make the cheese jokes. Come on. Thank you, guys. When we come back, we'll look at the Badgers' Orange Bowl victory last night and hear what the guys have to say about that. You're watching Sunday Sports Rewind. Welcome back to the show. Last night, the Wisconsin Badgers ended their season on a high note with a historic win down in Miami. 34-24 over the Miami Hurricanes in the Orange Bowl. Jonathan Taylor broke Adrian Peterson's record for most rushing yards as a freshman in FBS history. Of course, former Badger Ron Dane might have something to say about that. He would hold the true record, but back then the NCAA didn't recognize bowl stats. What gives? Wisconsin also earned its 13th win of the year, the most in school history, and it's the first time since the 1950s that Bucky has won 4 bowl games in consecutive seasons. Now, the trophy will collect dust over the years, but the bond among Badger brothers will stay fresh forever.
It's been a journey that I'll never forget, and the relationships with my brothers here is something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life, and I know some of them are going to be friends with, or I'm going to be friends with forever. Speaking of one, there's one right there, Jack Sitchy.
I mean, I'm going to take away the friendships, like Duel said. He's going to be one of my best friends, probably going to be my wedding. Just stuff like that, and just every time that one of us on this team comes back to Madison, these memories will come back, and it's going to be really special.
Great season for Bucky. Back to the NFL now. Vikings and Bears in Minneapolis. Guys in purple looking to clinch a first-round bye. But it's Chicago making the highlight reel early. Bryce Callahan, born and raised in Moscow, Idaho, that is, goes 59 yards on the punt return for the touchdown. 14-7 Vikes still on top. Third quarter, Case Keenum over the middle. Stephon Diggs. Yes, sir. The Vikings get the touchdown and the win. They lock up a first-round bye with their third.